Hello everyone, welcome to our class. Here we are discussing male accessory ducts in reproduction. Okay, so reproduction is the production of young one by an organism. In case of humans, sexual reproduction takes place. In previous session we discussed the parts of the male reproductive organs, testes and the seminiferous tubules, Sertoli cells, like that. Here we are discussing male accessory ducts. The male accessory ducts include retitestis, vasa efferentia, epididymis and vas deferens or vasa differentia. Got it? Retitestis, vasa efferentia, epididymis, vas deferens or vasa differentia. The seminiferous tubules opens into the vasa efferentia by a network of retitestis. That's clear to you? Where we can see the seminiferous tubule? Seminiferous tubule is the part of the testis. Tunica albuginea divides into 250 compartment. That 250 compartment that is known as testicular lobules. In each testicular lobules contain 1 to 3 seminiferous tubules. Okay. The seminiferous tubules contain interstitial cells and the Sertoli cells and spermatogonia. Okay, so spermatozoa produces. Spermatozoa means sperms are produced in this seminiferous tubule. From the seminiferous tubule, the sperms are moved into the vasa efferentia through this retitestis. Vasa efferentia conducts sperm into the, from this vasa efferentia, the sperms moves into the next portion, that is epididymis. Okay, which is an irregular, narrow and highly convoluted tubule found on the inner surface of the testis. Spermatozoa leaving the testis are not fully mobile. They continue their maturation and acquire mobility during their passage through the epididymis. Okay, so the sperms which are released from the seminiferous tubules are not matured. Some of them are get matured. The maturation and the mobility process, it will take place in this epididymis. So epididymis is a storehouse for the sperms. Again I am telling, testicular lobules contain seminiferous tubules. From the seminiferous tubules, the sperms are get into or goes into the vasa efferentia through retitestis. Okay. From this vasa efferentia, the sperms are stored in the epididymis portion. From this epididymis portion, this is epididymis portion. From this epididymis portion, you can see the next is vasa deferens. Epididymis leads to the vas deferens or vasa differentia that ascends to the abdomen and loops over the urinary bladder. It receives a duct from the seminal vesicle and opens into the urethra as ejaculatory duct. Got it? From this epididymis, the sperms are moved into the vasa deferens. Vasa deferens also get connected with the seminiferous, seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle is a part of this ureter. I told you earlier that in case of men, for releasing semen and releasing urine, they are having only one opening. Got it? Then the materials, the semen and the urine pass through the penis to external, to the external opening. The external opening is known as urethral meatus. Semen and the urine are goes or pass through the penis to the external opening. That external opening that is known as urethral meatus. Urethral meatus. Okay, so these four are the male accessory ducts. They have no direct involvement in reproduction, but they needed for the reproduction. The male accessory ducts are reti testis, vasa efferentia, epididymis, vas deferens. Okay, so seminiferous tubule first collects the semen or form the semen, enter into reti testis. From reti testis it moves into vasa efferentia. From vasa efferentia it is stored in the epididymis, then goes to vas deferens. From this vas deferens to the penis it goes, or it passes through the outside. Okay, so this is the structure of the diagrammatic sectional view of the male pelvis showing reproductive system. It is very important. This diagram also you draw 5 times in our biology notebook. Next we are discussing male accessory glands. What do you mean by gland? Gland means they have the ability to secrete something. It may be an enzyme or a hormone. Okay. So the male accessory ducts in male are seminal vesicle, prostate gland, bulbourethral gland. Seminal vesicle, prostate gland, bulbourethral gland. Seminal vesicles are paired glandular sac-like structures seen near the urinary bladder. These secrete a viscous alkaline fluid. 70% of semen contain seminal vesicles fluid. Okay, seminal vesicles secrete a fluid. That fluid is alkaline in nature and also viscous. The pH of the seminal vesicle is, the fluid of seminal vesicle is 7.4, and also it contains fructose. This fructose provide energy to the sperm. And also the seminal vesicle, the seminal fluid contain prostaglandins, which stimulate muscular contraction within the female reproductive system. Okay. So seminal vesicles are a paired glandular sac-like structure. Paired glandular. So these are the seminal vesicles. So these are the paired glandular sac-like structure seen near the base of the urinary bladder. It secretes a viscous and alkaline fluid. Okay. Constituting about 70% of the semen. The pH of the seminal fluid is 7.4 and it contains the carbohydrate fructose. Fructose provides energy to sperm and prostaglandins, which stimulate muscular contraction within the female reproductive organs. Okay, the next gland that is prostate gland. You can see the prostate gland in this figure near to the seminal vesicle. Below the seminal vesicle, this gland, that is prostate gland. Prostate gland is a single large gland that surrounds the first part of the urethra. It produces milky, slightly alkaline secretion which forms about 20% of the volume of the semen. So the major portion of the semen contains seminal fluid. Only 20% of contain prostate gland secretions. Prostate gland secretions are necessary for the sperm mobility. And also it having proteolytic enzymes, fibrinolysin and fibrinogenase. Proteolytic means protein digesting enzyme. Okay, so near to the seminal vesicle, the prostate gland is seen. It is the first part of the urethra, milky and slightly alkaline, which forms 20% of the volume of the semen. Prostate secretion contains the materials albumin that is needed for the motility of the sperm. So seminal vesicle secretes fructose, okay, that provide energy. The prostate gland secretes albumin that gives mobility. And also the prostate gland contains or prostate gland secreting fibrinolysin and fibrinogenase enzyme. Fibrinolysin and fibrinogenase enzyme. Okay. The next one is bulbourethral gland. Below this prostate gland, the small one, that is bulbourethral gland. Other name of this bulbourethral gland, that is Cowper's, Cowper's, Cowper's gland, situated beneath the bladder behind the urethra. Okay, their secretions needed during the sexual excitation, and it acts as a lubricant for penis and also neutralizes any urine in the urethra. So, bulbourethral glands, otherwise known as Cowper's gland, its secretions act as a lubricant for penis and also neutralizes the urine in urethra. Clear it is? So this is about our male accessory ducts. So the seminal vesicles provide the fructose. So the main function of these accessory ducts are helps in transporting sperms, supplies nutrients to sperms, and provides alkaline medium to counteract the acidity of the uterus. Okay. The next is urethra. Next, the urethra is not an accessory duct, but it is a part of the male reproductive structure, urethra. Male urethra is otherwise known as urinogenital tract. It provides a common pathway for flow of urine and semen. It includes mainly three parts: prostatic urethra, membranous urethra, and penile urethra. What was the three parts? Prostatic urethra, membranous urethra, and penile urethra. The next portion is penis, the male external genitalia, that is penis. It is a copulatory organ and it is made up of vascular and spongy erectile tissue. The enlarged end of penis, that is known as glans penis, which is covered by a fold of skin called foreskin or prepuce, foreskin or prepuce. So this is the penis portion. So this is the external genitalia. The end of the enlarged portion, the end of the penis, that is known as glans penis, and it is covered by a fold of skin, that is known as foreskin or prepuce. The penis contains three cylindrical masses of erectile tissue: two dorsal corpora cavernosa, and one ventral corpus spongiosum. Penis serves to transmit sperms into the vagina of female during sexual intercourse. Again, I am telling penis contains 3 cylindrical masses of erectile tissue, 2 dorsal corpora cavernosa and 1 ventral corpus spongiosum. The enlarged end of the penis is known as glans penis, which is covered by a fold of skin that is known as foreskin or prepuce. Prepuce, prepuce. Okay. Then the next one is the secretion, that is semen. Seminal plasma along with the sperms constitute the semen. Secretions of the epididymis, vasa deferens, seminal vesicle and the prostate are essential for the maturation and motility of the sperms. I told you that when the sperms released from the seminiferous tubules are not fully matured, the maturation process and the mobility process will take place in epididymis. So epididymis is a storehouse for the sperms. Okay. The human male ejaculates about 200 to 300 million sperms during a single coitus. For normal fertility, at least 60% of sperms must have normal shape and size. At least 40% of sperms must show vigorous motility. And we know the fact that 200 to 300 million sperms are ejaculating at the time of coitus, but only one is needed to form a fertilization. So here occurs the Darwin's law, survival of the fittest or the natural selection. So who is more powerful? That fuses with the egg and form the zygote. Okay. For production of this hormones and the production of this semen or the reproductive ability, hormones are needed. The growth, maintenance and the functions of the male reproductive organs are under the control of the hormone system. And the hormones are gonadotropin releasing hormone. Which part of our body is secreting GnRH? Last year we studied. Okay. GnRH is secreted by hypothalamus. Okay. It stimulates the anterior pituitary to secrete and release FSH and LH. FSH means follicular cell stimulating hormone, and the LH means luteinizing hormone. FSH initiate spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis means formation of the sperms. Okay. It also stimulates the production of androgen binding protein. But the functions or working of the FSH are inhibited by the hormone inhibin secreted by the Sertoli cells of the seminiferous tubules. LH, luteinizing hormone. LH luteinizing hormone, otherwise known as ICSH. So LH is otherwise known as ICSH. ICSH means interstitial cell stimulating hormone. What was that ICSH? Interstitial cell stimulating hormone. The function of this hormone is stimulate the Leydig cells. Where these Leydig cells can be seen? In between this Sertoli cells, the interstitial cells, that is known as Leydig cells. Leydig cells to produce androgen. So ICSH or Leydig LH hormones stimulate the Leydig cells to produce androgens. Androgens, the principal hormone being testosterone. So the male characters are formed because of the presence of this hormone testosterone. Clear it is?